Hello and welcome to Consciously Awesome Living. I'm your host, Sheila Applegate, conscious life coach and manifestation specialist. We are here today talking about how to design your most brilliant life, whatever that is for you. This season, we've been drawing on different points of manifestation or co-creation, whatever it is that you define that aligning and drawing in the beauty that you desire in life. And today is a really special day because we are at the winter solstice, at least in my hemisphere of the world, and equinox for those in the other hemisphere. And it's such a beautiful time and a sacred time. So I want to just take a moment to look at what solstice means and the impact it has on our lives, and then just explore how we can celebrate it or how we do celebrate it, even if we don't realize we're celebrating it. So solstice, as you may know, is when the sun is the furthest away from our Earth in the cycle of the sun and the Earth rotations. And in that, we have the longest night, the darkest day of the year, and the shortest day. And for those of you who like sun, like me, I like, I love the four seasons, but it gets dark around 4:30 here for a while. And so I count on this day because now we add a minute to each day until we have these long summer nights, right? Or evenings where we can stay out and watch the sunset late in the evening. So it's a special day just for that, for anyone that's looking for more vitamin D in their life. But it's also something that people have been celebrating for over 5,000 years. At least that's as much as we know, that they've been celebrating this night as a way of acknowledging the aspect of for some traditions, it's about the light overcoming the darkness, right? In early traditions, maybe the story was that, the darkness is kind of overtaking our sun. And this is when the sun starts to win and come back into the forefront and take on the minutes of our day. And others celebrate it for the festivals of lights, the idea of that dance. To me, I like to think of it as the dance between the dark and the light, because I think the dark and the light are so beautiful, right? It's become a metaphor that the dark symbolizes evil and the light symbolizes good, but both are in the realm of oneness. And if you are speaking in terms of God or creator, they're both within God and creator. That's how we have everything that we look at and touch on this earth. We wouldn't love the autumn leaves if we weren't watching the spectrum of light bounce on them and create those brilliant colors. So everything that we are looking at and experiencing as beauty is a dance of the dark and the light, which is why I love the solstice so much. And what we now can come to understand is that because humans have been celebrating this solstice in ceremony and rituals and different traditions since before our modern religions, we see that the solstice is actually, those traditions are incorporated in to many of the celebrations that we have right now. I said Hanukkah, right? They consider that the festival of the lights, and they are lighting candles each night for 8 days. Yule, you've heard of a Yule log on the fire in some of our songs, and Happy Yule. That's a Germanic pagan tradition, Yule, which is very much why we celebrate Christmas at this time with all of our lights and all of these traditions and rituals that actually predate Christianity. And when we look at other cultures too, the Iranians have been celebrating that. Before the traditions that they have now, they were celebrating Shab Yalda. I don't know if I say that right, but and then the Romans, Saturnalia, and all of these traditions have been a part of the rituals. And it's important to understand that, because then we remember that we are not as divided as we think, that a lot of our traditions and our beliefs, even if we add on a prophet or a dogma or teachings that are specific to our religion, the core of it, the truth of it, the essence of it is deep inside and predates any division that we may feel now, which I think is really important right now as we become more of a global community, and traditions and ceremonies and rituals are melding into each other or being shared, that we remember that at our core, we are actually celebrating some of the same things. And the other thing I really like to talk about right now is ceremony and rituals, because to me, solstice is the perfect place to celebrate with rituals or ceremonies. And you may have some traditions, maybe passed down from your family. I know I have a German background that brings in a lot of those Yule traditions. And then there's other traditions that I have incorporated, some from the indigenous cultures that I have been close with, or some that I have developed myself, drawn from other ceremonies to celebrate. Moon ceremonies are another special ceremony for me. And the full moon, when my kids were young, especially, we celebrated it every full moon with a fire, even in the winters. And we put water out and we honored and gave thanks to the moon and to the stars. And actually, we would do that Thanksgiving prayer that I spoke of a few weeks ago. Dance is also something that we incorporate a lot in ceremony. And it's a great time for music and celebration. So I'm interested to hear about what you do to celebrate and what traditions you may have at this time of the year. And I also wanted to just talk about traditions, rituals, and ceremonies as I see them, because I think they are so beautiful and they're a way for us to connect. In my Consciously Awesome adventures, we explore how these ceremonies and these rituals and traditions, that they help lead us to a remembrance of oneness. And once we remember that we are that spark of oneness living on earth, and we are connected, and we have access to all of our frequencies between our tiny spark and oneness, then the ceremonies and rituals may not be as important in keeping us aligned, because we're staying aligned in each moment. But that doesn't mean we need to throw them out, because they still make it's still a celebration. They still fill us with joy and with love and connection, because often we do these ceremonies with other people. And these rituals and ceremonies are found in every religion. I do not know the details of every religion, but I can speak of Christianity, because that is how I was raised. And in Christianity, you'll see that um, the minister is often performing many rituals. Communion is a symbolic ritual, and The sign of the cross is often done in the Catholic churches. But what's happened in some religions is we've separated the understanding, and we've allowed just a few people, the leaders, to understand what the ceremony means, and others may be going through it and getting some benefit from it without putting a lot of thought into what is happening and tuning in themselves. This also happens when we move out of specific religions and take a more spiritual, eclectic approach, and we might want to draw on other people's traditions because they resonate with us. So I would just ask that when you are doing that, to understand, take a moment, whether it's in your own tradition that you were raised with and you feel like you are part of that community, or you're opening to a new tradition. Understand what the ritual, the ceremony symbolizes, what it is meant for, behind the scenes of everything. Because when you know the behind the scenes of it, then you can honor it, right? So that's not just appropriating from somebody else and taking their traditions and belittling it. It's honoring it. It's bringing it into your center and then moving with your own understanding, evolving it, and allowing yourself to guide you on how to maybe create or shift your ceremonies to encompass the core of what you're desiring to honor and celebrate and remember. When you do this, it has more impact because you're actually engaging in the core of it in that celebration. And you're remembering that everything evolves. So ancient traditions were great. When they were brought in, they were evolving from something prior to that. So it is nice and good and appropriate for us to be creating ceremonies that mean something to us, and even possibly passing them on to the next generations. Understanding the whys and teaching the whys to others, if you are sharing, will help them to be able to incorporate it and evolve with it. So that is what I wanted to share about my perception of ceremonies with you today, and just to hold that in your thoughts and maybe take a moment to look into what the different countries or traditions have done in the past to celebrate at the solstice time. I know China and Japan also have very sacred rituals at this time in their culture that are not about Christmas or Hanukkah, but about other, but it comes back to that core of solstice. So we're going to take a little break. And when we get back, we'll do a solstice meditation that will involve maybe some ceremony and tradition and rituals for ourselves. Be right back.
Are you ready to take that first step towards true, unwavering inner happiness? Are you like thousands of people who have everything they need, not want, but need, and still can't seem to find happiness and fulfillment in their lives? If so, the Steps to Happiness show is for you. On my show, you will learn about the principles and practices that lead to true inner happiness. Because guess what? It isn't found in our external environment, but within ourselves instead. Together with my guests, we will explore the latest physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being practices. And together, we'll advise you on the actionable steps you can take towards a happier, more fulfilled, authentic life. So I invite you to join me each week on Soulivity TV on the Steps to Happiness show with me, Teresa Greco.
You can find all the Satana products at our Go shop on Soulivity at go.soulivity.com now. Shop for beauty products, skincare, hair care. It is all there at the Go shop. Go shop Soulivity. We work so hard sometimes. Isn't it time for a break? Take a walk or enjoy nature. Or maybe a leap, or a ride, or even a dip. Spending time with a friend, or some time alone. Whatever it is, always spend time growing and learning with a Soulivity weekend. Every Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern, right here on Soulivity TV.
Hello and welcome back. Are you ready to do a solstice meditation? Let's begin with this now, and we'll see how we can draw in some ideas of ceremony and tradition or rituals that you can then maybe, if it feels good to you, you could also create those outside of meditations in the physical world. All right. So if this is your first time tuning in, I'd like to just say, sit back, relax. If you close your eyes, you'll be able to see internally more. Let your imagination lead you. And if you open your eyes, you'll always see beautiful pictures that Brian has helped to incorporate into our vision. So just sit back and enjoy the ride. And as you sit there, I ask that you take a deep breath in and release. Breathe in love and release joy. Breathe in hope and release passion. Continue to breathe deeply and rhythmically as you feel your mind and body becoming more and more relaxed. And then as you sit there, very comfortable, begin to see, feel, or imagine a beautiful golden rose sun and a bioluminescent blue moon dancing above your head. The golden rose light of the sun and the bioluminescent blue of the moon swirling and dancing above your head until they become one. And then that golden light and that bioluminescent blue light pour into the top of your head. Imagine that you can feel that liquid color as it fills your head, your ears, your inner vision, your throat. Just imagine the beautiful light swirling as it moves down your arms, and then rest into it as you feel it in your heart, swirling and opening the heart center. And then when it moves down further, it's going to reach that solar plexus, where it's going to become an infinity sign as it draws inward all of your emotions so that you can experience the full spectrum of emotion. And the light moves downward into your creation center, opening your creation center now, igniting it, that you are free to create your truest dreams and desires. And then imagine yourself feeling that light moving down your legs, knees, and into your feet. Feel that tingling vibration as your feet touch the floor. And one more time, imagine yourself seeing that golden rose and bioluminescent blue light in your creation center, your midsection, and then watch that pour right out your tailbone down into the earth, anchoring you into the earth, that you are free to explore the realms of consciousness and creativity. And as you rest into this feeling, allow yourself now to begin to imagine that you are standing by a beautiful sacred fire. This fire doesn't look like other fires. It has indigo and blue, purple, emerald, rose. All the different colors are rising up. And now imagine yourself standing here next to this flame. You may look around you and you may see that there are crystals all around you like canyon walls. The moon in the sky and the sun is also there, but faintly in the background. The stars are lit. And you are wearing your sacred attire. Now let your imagination lead you. This sacred attire is exactly what you reflect, your inner essence. It may be furs, or it may be color. It may be a robe or a dress. Whatever it is, just imagine yourself in it now. Being in it helps you to feel that sacredness. And as you look around you, your friends are with you. Maybe you recognize them, or maybe they're from spirit. But you are noticing that you are not the only one at this beautiful flame. And there is music. Listen to the music. It is designed just for you. The music that comes from within you. You may experience the desire to dance. In this space, in your imagination, you could even step into that flame and allow those flames to dance in and through you. And perhaps there is food to eat and prayers to be spoken. Allow yourself to follow your heart as you receive exactly what you are meant to receive in this moment. And as we stand by this flame and we dance and we celebrate, we connect with each other. I surrender myself now to bring in a message for you from the goddess and the god, the divine feminine and masculine that reflect the dance of the sun and the moon and the solstice tonight. My dear beautiful ones, we speak to you today. We help you to remember the truth that is within you, for within each of us, there is a mark within our DNA. We are connected to the ancient ones. We are connected to those of the future. We are a continuum of energy that is oneness, taking form and then moving beyond form and then taking form once again. And so as we celebrate here today, we are calling upon you to remember the days of old, to celebrate the ancient wisdoms while moving forward and being present. For it is our presence that creates our future. And yet we know that all is happening in a single divine moment. And when we come to the flames as we are today, and we embrace each other in celebration ritual, we are drawing upon traditions and we are creating traditions for the future. We are creating new insights and understandings as we draw in. That spark that is within us is connected to the whole, and as we draw that and we remember our connection through this celebration, not only our connection to the divine, but our connection to each other, we continue to expand and to grow, and we allow the wonder to be. If there is one word that I would like to leave with you today, it is wonder. Allow the wonder to rise within you, the inquisitiveness within you that desires to learn more, to explore, but also to see the miracles in the moment, the wonder, the fantasticalness of our existence on earth when we are in remembrance with the divine that we are. And so as we come together today, I ask that each of us allow that spark within us to be wonder. As we move through this day and through this season, may that wonder lead us, and may we reflect that upon others. For when we, as humanity, remember the wonder within us and see it within others, we will come together in a collective understanding, and we will see that the earth reflection of our truth will begin to take form. And so we leave this with you, and we welcome you to the fire. We welcome you to the flame, and we ask that you celebrate on earth and in meditation in your own divinity in your own way. May the wonder continue for all of eternity. And we give thanks. Now just open your eyes and allow yourself to look around the room and to feel that essence of the ceremony and of the wonder and of the message. And as you sit there, allowing that to be present with you, I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about some of the beautiful things that are coming up for you to experience on earth. So we talked a lot today about tradition and ceremonies and rituals. And I've told you before, and you've seen on Soulivity, that we have the Empower Summit coming up on January 22nd. And it's going to be filled with so many incredible speakers. Well, not so many, but so incredible. But there's so much knowledge and wisdom that are going to be brought through to you during that time. And one of the speakers that I want to speak about today, because I am really excited to be on the summit with, is Lynn Andrews. And I want to introduce you to her if you don't know, because her books are very much connected to traditions and rituals and ceremonies, especially in the early days of my sort of opening up to the divine and understanding in new ways. I read Medicine Woman, Jaguar Woman. You probably read a lot of that series. And if you haven't, they're timeless. I suggest that you read them. But today's a perfect day to announce that she will be on that summit talking about the evolution of her life and bringing that forward in her topic as she speaks to us about empower and creating the new year. Then also we have on January 27th, we'll be kicking off the Consciously Awesome Gnostic Adventure. So be sure to check my website and to look into that, because you may want to come on that adventure, which is also filled with wonder. So it's perfect to the message that we just received here today. Have a beautiful week, celebrating in whatever way your tradition leads you and your heart enhances. And we will see you again next week.